Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Bus driver who allegedly caused an 8-vehicle collision in St. Andrew has 120 outstanding traffic tickets. The coaster bus driver who allegedly caused an 8-vehicle collision along the Constant Spring Main Road in St. Andrew on November 1 has 120 outstanding traffic tickets. The revelation was made by Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson. Footage shared on social media showed the coaster bus crashing into the back of a stopped pickup truck, pushing it onto vehicles in front of it. Police said at least 4 vehicles were disabled, however, no serious injury was reported. In giving an update on the incident, Commissioner Anderson said checks reveal that the driver of the bus had over 100 outstanding tickets.
The coaster bus seemed to have plowed into the back of one vehicle, pushing it into other vehicles. And the vehicle it plowed into seemed to have been a black pickup, and it had stopped. So, interestingly enough, when I checked, I had them check on the driver of that coaster, there's 120 outstanding tickets. And this is a point that I have been making in this whole business of what happens on our roads. Until when the police issue these tickets, it matters. We will continue to have these people doing all kinds of things on the road.
Person of interest in murder investigation of Anika Sekiana Townsend to report to police on Thursday. Roshan Patterson, the person of interest named in relation to the investigation of the death of social media personality Anika Sekiana Townsend, is expected to report to the police on Thursday, November 3. 35-year-old Townsend was found dead in the sea at Reading in St. James on Friday, October 21. Following her death, Patterson, otherwise called Chizzy, was named as a person of interest in the investigation and was asked to turn himself into the Freeport police station by 5 p.m. on October 22nd. However, he did not comply. Speaking during the Jamaica Constabulary Forces Monte-Press briefing on November 1, Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of the Crime and Security Portfolio, Fitz Bailey, said that Mr. Patterson's attorney has indicated that he will report to the police later this week.
We have nothing to indicate that he has left the country. I'll turn you over to Mr. Bailey if he has any updates.
The matter is actively being pursued. We are at a very delicate position at this time, but what I will say to the public, that we are actively pursuing the matter. In fact, I can say this publicly, that an attorney reached out to me and indicated that he will take him in on Thursday of this week.
Opposition questions Dr. Tufton about VJH bacterial infection situation, which resulted in the deaths of some babies. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton was taken to task on November 1 by his opposition colleagues in the lower house about his handling of the bacterial infection situation at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital, which resulted in the deaths of some babies. The opposition has blasted the health minister for not making the issue public sooner and has called for his resignation. However, Dr. Tufton was stringent in his position that the decisions were taken in a bid to avoid creating public hysteria. Dr. Tufton pointed out that while the opposition seems intent on making an issue out of the view that the public, especially pregnant mothers, should have been made aware of the situation at the hospital, his objective and that of the medical staff in the South Regional Health Authority was to fix the problem, which they did. The opposition also raised questions about when the minister was briefed by the team from PAHO about the situation. Dr. Tufton explained that while PAHO made a draft summary of their finding, the final official report has not yet been submitted. He also explained that most of the issues identified by PAHO in the draft already noted by the Southeast Regional Health Authority, medical staff, and were already being addressed. Dr. Tufton cautioned the opposition against the narrative being put out to the public about babies who died at the hospital, noting that the mortality rate has remained constant over the years, with babies dying for various reasons. He said the 2015 incident should not be compared to the one now.
The member was repeating himself on the issue of notification to the public. I've explained to him why I thought at the time that we were addressing the issue, which to my mind was the substantial point. But it's debatable. And I'm prepared to accept that there is a view that one should have gone public with the conversation. There's another view that said if the problem was being solved and the risk was cauterized, then we should not create unnecessary hysteria, because what that could potentially do is to discourage persons from going to an institution that was in some instances the sole option for them in an otherwise challenging scenario, particularly with the overcrowding of the place. But as I said, that is a debatable view, and that's a judgment call that was made at the time in consultation with the... As it relates to the PAHO report, I don't consider a two-page draft a report. You may, I don't. I am awaiting the report. Now, the team has had conversations with the PAHO team while they were here. Clearly, they had to take them into the facility, give them access, and so conversations would have taken place to support or to add to the narrative of what needed to be done. I accept that. But a report is an official report, and I'm placing on record that I have not yet gotten the report. Experts. I am a member of an administration that considers all issues, and we act in the best interest of the country, and I have always acted in the best interest of the public health of the people of Jamaica. I think it is unworthy to compare what transpired in 2015 because the circumstances can be so much different. Again, I am trying to be very gracious because I don't want to appear to be politicizing public health. But, you know, that 2015 incident, for all sorts of reasons, generated significant anxieties around how the then administration was managing the situation. In our case, we discovered a problem and we fixed the problem. And that to me is the most important issue to consider.
Children charged for 875 significant crimes between 2019 and 2022. Children have been charged for 875 significant crimes in Jamaica between 2019 and 2022. Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson made the revelation during the Jamaica Constabulary Force monthly press briefing on November 1. He said there have been 79 murder charges laid against children. 175 children have also been charged with rape over the period. He said it is important that collective action be taken to save children from a career of crime.
When we examine children as the perpetrators of major crimes, some concerns begin to emerge. By definition, a child is a person below the age of 18 years, but bear in mind that most of the perpetrators in this category are between 15 and 17 years old. Let's examine the 4-year period, 2019 to present. Children have been charged with 875 major crimes in Jamaica. There have been 79 murder charges, 66 for shooting. A total of 175 children have been charged for rape over the period. There have been 256 charges for breaches of the Firearm Act, 175 for break-ins, 89 cases of robbery, and 65 for aggravated assault. These individuals who, if we do not act collectively, are getting into an early career of violence and crime. We are bringing this to the nation's attention because, as a society, we have to decide how we are going to save them. As the police, we engage in various early intervention strategies through our Community Safety and Security Branch and programs like the Police Youth Club. As we have spoken of previously, we work closely with the Ministry of Education and the Safe Schools program. However, we all must take this matter more seriously. The pandemic of violence is infecting our children.
Holness embarrassed by garbage pile-up. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says he is embarrassed to see the levels of garbage in public spaces. It is of great concern to the government, he told the House of Representatives on Tuesday. However, he said that 50 garbage trucks are in transit to Jamaica and are expected to ease the chronic problem of delays in collecting waste. In her contribution to the State of the Constituency debate early in the House, Member of Parliament for St. Catherine Eastern Dennis Daly lamented the appalling conditions across the country with uncollected garbage. Jamaica Dotty, Daly declared as she commented on the unsigned full pileup of garbage across the country, threatening what she said could be a disease outbreak. Holness yesterday announced that $5 million will be allocated to each constituency for garbage collection over the coming weeks. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell.